Hello. Hello everyone. Hi there. How are you guys doing? Where are the crowds? Why not? Why shouldn't there be? Are you implying that there can be crowds here? Hello, Optimus. Why are there bongos? Interesting. And we ooga or booga so we can shaka or laka. I wonder. Yes! Rush B! Rush B! So let me get this out.
Okay, enough. Enough. No time for yapping. We're opening the game. I actually need to open the game yet, but I mean still. So we can yap while the game opens. But other than that, no time for yapping. We'll rush B. Drums Billy Boy listed before M16 repeats armor reel. No more tomfoolery, we'll go back to peak. Because they have like an hour and a half or something like that. Or like an hour and 40 minutes. 2 hours if I really want to keep my sister waiting. So yeah, onto the game we go. Nyum. That was louder than... What took you so long? Peak. Funnily enough, I have used that with her pretty often. Every now and then, especially with your Frontline. Like, I'll get there, not like super late, but like, you know, relatively late. Because I usually try to be there at like the time she gets out. But then, let's say I'm there like, I don't know, 20 minutes or like half or 30 minutes after she gets out of work. And I'll be like, I'm so sorry, peak was happening. I was reading Girls Frontline and shit was going down. And she's like, I understand. I am really sorry. I don't like to keep her waiting, but sometimes there's just too much peak. I have not played this. Should probably do it. Because there are tickets in there. Kept you waiting, huh? I should send her. I have the screenshot. I should just send her that screenshot every time I arrive to pick her up. Kept you waiting, huh? I should, yeah. You need to level her up. Time for the cool animation. She's so cool. Am I ready to abuse my wife and give her emotional damage? Next week? I am so ready. I have not watched the trailer yet, I should watch it later. Look at this cool ass gun. Do I have any more? No. Alright, with that we finish the dailies. I really should have started stacking her, yeah. I'm never on the computer, and sometimes these minigames work like shit on mobile. Is that it? Am I missing something? No, let's go. So here we are. Once again. Oh, I'm missing draw supply. How many do I have this? Okay. Alright. We continue. We're 18% in. Let's keep going. A brief reunion allows the wheels of destiny to continue their slow grind. Damn, okay. Under Kluke's lead, 404 moves through the underground facility and arrives near the battlefield. Now they can clearly see the full scope of the fight. The underground sewer has been utterly devastated by the clash. Walls riddled with bullet holes, and chunks of concrete lay scattered across the ground. Amid the ruins, AN-94 and AK-15 are looking at intense engagement with a woman wearing a suit. So it's really her. The battle has clearly been going on for quite some time. AK-15 is covered in injuries, and AN-94's movements are noticeably more sluggish than Kluke remembers. Worse still, their ammunition appears to be nearly depleted. Igla seems more like she's performing a dance than engaging in a fight. The rapier in her hand traces elegant arcs through the air, beautiful yet lethal. Even when facing the combined assault of the two DeFi members, Igla remains utterly unfazed. With her extensive combat experience, Kluke can tell at a glance that even with the dolls beside her, taking Igla head-on will be extremely difficult. But she doesn't hesitate for a moment. The commander has given the order, and she has full confidence in completing the mission entrusted to her. On level 2, she orders the other dolls to deploy the positions where they can maximize their firepower, while she herself charges toward the battlefield at high speed.
Task Force DeFi. Task Force DeFi, this is Cloak of 404. The commander has dispatched us to assist with your evacuation. I'm approaching from your 6 o'clock. Do not fire in my direction.
Hey, Sunny! It is foxing well.
404.
The DeFi dolls show no change in their movements upon receiving the transmission. Igla's raging assault allows them not a single moment of slack. Even under such dire conditions, they maintain astonishing tactical coordination. Kluke closest to visual range. Under her gaze, every round fired by N94 precisely targets Igla's vital points. I know English. While AK-15 engages Igla in close quarters combat.
Their coordination is flawless. Yet Igla still handles it all with such ease that even Kluke feels a little unnerved. Igla. Okay, yeah. Figure it was like that. Thank you. I keep forgetting how good Alba looks. She looks so good! But she doesn't falter. Seizing the instant when the hulking doll and Igla briefly separate, Kluka fires several grenades accurately toward Igla. The unexpected attack sparks clear anger in Igla. That is a lot of repeating Igla. Damn rats. It's her after all. Taking advantage of Igla's momentary distraction, Wimastina's flying kick slams into Igla's waist, while additional grenade explosions force her to retreat further. Now, move, follow me. Kluke, 416. Shouldn't you be... Shouldn't you be what? Now isn't the time to talk. The commander sent us to pick up you and A94, so start by getting out of that thing's attacks range. Got it. I can hang on for a while longer, so take 94 with you and mount a fighting withdrawal. Be dead? I mean, I guess last time they saw each other, she was kinda dead. Fucking mecha is so big. So funny. Oh, come on.
Engine 起動 逃げられるエンジン起動さっさと倒れたら任務了解
Just stand there, I guess. Where is the... Wait, where is the evacuation? Oh, over there, okay. I'm gonna need to wake up, Meshti. No! Missing one! What do you mean? That's so sad. Oh well. I'm like, get it, but also it's been like 10 years. Like, come on, girls, why will she still be dead? Since you're here, might as well just get out. And alright, Meshti, you're gonna have to wake up and move. There we go.
Oh, come on.
エンジン起動
We'll get there, we'll get there. We got it!
グローザ状況は
Grossa, status report.
指定位置に到着。柱も確認済みよ。
We've reached the designated position. Load-bearing pillars confirmed. Yo? Where are we talking about load-bearing pillars?
建物全体が崩落しないよう爆破範囲を調整して
Calculate the blast radius precisely. Ensure only the floor of the target area is destroyed, without causing the entire building to collapse.
了解。
Grossa moves swiftly. In just a few dozen seconds, she sets up 4 directional demolition charges at the designated locations.
指揮官、爆薬を仕掛けたわ。
Commander, explosive deployment complete.
私が合図したら爆破して
Detonate on my command. I stare tensely at the terminal. 4-4 is advancing toward the area I sent earlier, and the signal they are detecting can only belong to that relentlessly pursuing Tirjan doll.
指揮官もうすぐ指定エリアです後ろに追っ手が
Commander, we're about to reach the designated area. The enemy is right behind us.
分かった。そっちが爆破範囲
Good.
が出るのを待っている。
The trap is set. Exit the blast radius.
了解あと10秒です
Acknowledge. 10 seconds.
交代
Fall back, now. At the moment Kloke is distracted by the transmission, Igla, burning with rage, lunges toward her with rapier in hand at a speed nearly impossible to track with the naked eye. Alba fires a shot that strikes the blade aimed at Kloke. The tip deflects, embedding itself precisely into the bolt of the rifle that Kloke has raised to block. Kloke immediately drops the rifle, draws her pistol, and empties an entire magazine into Igla at point-blank range. Even from such extremely close range, rounds of this caliber barely face Igla. The other dolls of 4-4 immediately lay down full auto fire to suppress Igla, finally forcing her back slightly.
私に構わないで行って
Don't worry about me, there's no time, go! Mastina rushes forward, grabs Kloke by the back of her collar, and pulls her back into the doll's firing formation with a powerful leap. Hell yeah! Kloke blinks in surprise at her new position, then snaps back to her senses and shouts into the comms.
指揮官位置につきました
Commander, we're in position.
了解グローザ
Grossa's finger is already poised on the detonator, ready to activate it at my final command.
爆破
Detonate! The shockwave from the explosion shakes the entire building. The precise directional blast causes the entire section of floor beneath Igla to collapse. For the first time, a flicker of alarm crosses Igla's face as she plunges downward, caught completely off guard.
来るかい。状況は
Kloke, the charges have detonated. Can you assess the results?
敵に命中
The explosion hit the enemy.
イグラが下に落ちました
The Stygian doll has fallen underground.
了解。迎えの車を用意したわ。
Received.
すぐにそこから
Vacate that area immediately. I'll bring the vehicle to extract you.
車の座標を送った。
I've sent extraction coordinates.
はい
Alright, we're coming now.
反逆小隊撤退地点に向かうわよ
DeFi, we're moving to the next extraction point. The commander will pick us up with a vehicle.
イグラの反応が近づいている
Igla's signal is approaching. Yeah, I was like, that's not gonna keep her down, is it?
移動しながら反撃
Keep moving and slow her down as you go. Alba and Mastina exchange a glance and nod to Kloke, while the dolls of 404 have already stowed their weapons and begun moving. The building exit is just ahead. Behind them, a figure leaps up from the depths amid swirling smoke.
お互いを援護するわよ
Alternate covering fire.
Stop her from closing in.
待って
Wait. Alba doesn't slow her run. She says that something about Igla is different. Indeed, the figure in the smoke doesn't move. She simply stands there, watching the dolls depart.
イグラは動いてないこのまま全速力で逃げて
Igla isn't pursuing. Don't slow down. Luca looks back toward Igla's position. Just as Alba said, there's no attack. And outside the building, the flash of headlights is already spilling into the interior. Get in, now! The sharp screech of brakes signals that the extraction vehicle has arrived. I yank open the door and jump into the rear cargo bed, clearing a space for the dolls. 404 quickly piles into the jeep. Seeing there's no room left inside, Alba and Mastina leap into the cargo bed as well, sitting beside me. Grossa watches Igla's direction tensely, waiting for extraction to finish, while Kaufman scans the area repeatedly before asking anxiously,
ヘレナちゃんは
Where's HELENA?
ジラードに奪われ
Girard's people took her.
何
すみません
Sorry, Commander. I have a way to get her back, but it's too dangerous here. We need to leave immediately.
この座標に向かってください
Head to these coordinates. It's our safe house.
分かったグローザ
Understood.
そこに向かって
Grossa, move out now. The jeep makes a sharp turn and speeds out of the industrial park. The figure that was standing in the smoke earlier is already gone, having disappeared even more hastily than the dolls. Suspicious. I don't trust that.
帰ったら一日寝てもいい？やばい。もう我慢が。
Next one. Ooh, story. Story only, Hunter. Hunter 2. A skilled hunter has ample experience in tracking. Oh no, I don't like how that sounds. Yo! Story. Wait, hold on. Story? 4 story notes? Story maxim. Yeah. Good shit. If I was holding a detonator and someone shouted my name, I would have assumed that was the signal. Time to read. Inside a dimly lit state tech safe house. Only the blue glow of several computer screens illuminates the cramped space. The walls are covered with maps and photographs. A few empty magazines and medical kits are scattered across the floor. The dolls are replenishing their supplies using what's stored in the safe house, while Alba hands a small chip to Mastina. Mastina takes it and starts uploading the data at a nearby terminal. When the upload begins, Alba finally exhales in relief.
周囲を警戒して
Keep watching the surroundings. Don't let your guard down.
さっきの戦闘でジラードの戦力を大幅に削
The fight that just took place has severely weakened Yura's combat capability. Kemi should have a much easier time breaking through the blockade now.
F ランクの装備を持ってこさせよう
I've been finding a way to bring in F-grade equipment. We need power capable of defeating Igla.
ここはホワイトエリアだぞ
We're in the white zone.
責任は私が取る
I'll take responsibility for that decision. Use it without worry.
分かった
Meg incoming?
The corner of Mastina's mouth lifts almost imperceptibly, but she quickly suppresses the smile and focuses on making external contact through the terminal. Standing in the center of the room, it occurs to me to whom this safe house belongs. I then make a sweep over the members of Task Force DeFi before finally settling on Alba. Alba notices the question in my eyes. She introduces the new names she and Mastina are using, and briefly recounts what they have been up to recently.
まだ保安局にいるの
You're still affiliated with the state tech?
いえ 今は協力関係です。
No, we're just maintaining a cooperative relationship.
10年前から反逆正体は完
For
全
the
に
past 10
独立しています
years, Task Force C5 has been fully independent.
本当なら近況を聞くべきだけど、今はもっと
I would love to know how you've been all these years, but there are more pressing matters right now.
どうしてリビウに来たの？
Where you
連
live?
れ去った理由は？
Why did you take Elena?
それと
And
あの施設で
what exactly happened in that building? Alva doesn't answer immediately. She just keeps typing while Dad scrolls rapidly across the screen. After a moment, once all the data is parsed, she looks up at me and speaks seriously.
順を追って説明します。
Let me start from the beginning, Commander.
この10年間ずっとパラデウスを
We've never stopped pursuing Paradeus in the last decade.
ご存知かと思いますが、奴らは滅んでなどい
I believe you're already aware now that they were never truly eliminated.
私たちは先日パラデウスの
Some time
位置情
ago,
報をつか
through
みました。
intelligence work, we obtained the coordinates of a Paradeus experimental facility.
保安局の協力のもと潜入に
With assistance from StateSec, we located the site, and that's where we encountered a Nido named Chilvig.
シルロビグがネイトですって。
Chilvig is a Nido?
彼女をご存知で
You know her.
楽園計画の主導者の一人で、
She's one of the lead figures behind Project Eden.
ジラードグループのレーダーに信
Orphelune,
頼さ
the
れ
Girard group Harris, trusted her deeply.
パラデウスの関係者と睨んでいたけど、まさか
I already suspected she was connected to Paradeus. I never imagined she was a Nido.
そちらもいろいろ情報を掴んでいるようですね。
I think you already gathered quite a lot of information. It largely matches our intelligence.
私たちは潜入した基地にあった資料から
Before the data at that facility got destroyed, we obtained part of the information on Project Eden, which confirmed the ties between the Girard group and Paradeus.
計画の詳細は知りませんでしたが
At the time, we didn't know the
パラデ
project's
ウスが
exact
関
nature,
係しているとなると
but anything connected to Paradeus
叩き潰す
must be eradicated completely. I agree.
その通りなのでリビウに
Exactly.
その調査に来ました
So we came to Lib to investigate further.
ヘレナに関してはこちらとしても
As
そう
for
でした
Helena, that was an unexpected
あの
development.
子は楽園計画の中枢を
We discovered that
担う
Igla was attempting to seize her.
放っておけばイグラに奪われそうでした
We discovered that Igla was attempting to seize her, and as O43, she also appeared to be a key component within Project Eden.
ジラードの手に落ちてしまったら
We couldn't allow the Girard group to obtain her. The risks were too great.
ならどうしてもっとわかりやすく協力してくれなかったの？
Why not provide direct assistance?
管理局の
Kalina
人もあの場にいたのに。
People from the non-military forces administration were on site at the time.
財団に私たちのスパイがいます
We have an informant within the conglomerate.
その情報によればジラードと管理局
Before coming to leave, we already knew that Girard
詳細は
had reached an agreement with the non-military forces administration, but the details were unclear.
だから管理局がわざとヘレナを
So you suspected Nonfa was deliberately handing Elena over to the Girard group?
それはありえない。局長は
That's impossible.
クルーガーさんだし
The director of Nonfa is Kruger.
カリンに
Elena was to be handed over to Kalina and members of 404.
クルーガーさんやカリーナさんを疑っているわけではありません
We understand.
10年前
We never suspected Mr. Kruger, Miss Kalina, or any of the comrades who fought alongside us in Frankfurt 10 years ago.
私たちも最初は介入するつもりはありませんでした
At first, we had no intention of fully intervening. We only provided some assistance to Liva,
ですがカリーナさんにヘレナ
but
を
with
守り
Igla going on
できない
defensive,
と判断しました
we judged that Miss Kalina no longer had the capacity to protect Elena,
何よ
not to mention.
りカリーナさんたち以外の管理局の関係
We
者
cannot
に
fully
信用
trust
で
those
きない
standing behind the Nonfa, beyond them.
自らの利益のために不義理
We
な
have reason to
働き
believe
を
that under
しても
certain
おかしくありません
circumstances, those people will make morally corrupt deals to protect their own interests. I'm momentarily speechless. Sharing the same concern myself, I find no grounds to refute Alva.
それで
What happened next?
ヘレナを連れて逃げながら応戦しました
We took Elena with Igla in hot pursuit.
しかし途中で彼女の入っていた箱が機能を
Along the
落とし
way, Elena's container disengaged for unknown reasons, complicating our operation. Our purpose in coming to live was to investigate Project Eden, not Helena. But at that point, we had to admit the mission had hit a bottleneck. By getting involved in the struggle over Helena, we lost our stealth and any hope of conducting a covert investigation. So I devised a plan. A very high-risk plan. But it succeeded in the end. What plan? During the pursuit, I had my Mastina take Helena and leave first. I stayed behind to cover the retreat and face Igla alone. I was naturally no match for Igla. After delaying her for some time, I was defeated and taken back to her laboratory. The same building you just saw. You got captured on purpose? Within DeFi, we have a special method of locating each other. It bypasses conventional signal jamming, but its range is limited to 2 kilometers. Using me as a beacon, Mastina evaded pursuit while narrowing the search radius. In the end, she found the location where I was held captive and launched an attack while they were unprepared. And that gave me the opportunity to steal their database. Alba stands and walks to the holographic projection table in the center of the room. She inserts a small storage device into the projector. Instantly, blue holographic imagery unfolds in the air, revealing complex data streams and architectural schematics. This is the classified data I obtained. I stared at Alba in disbelief. This is... Yes, this is the truth behind Project Eden. On the surface, the project is presented as the UR Group's new energy research. In reality, it's an extremely complex technological validation experiment. Large-scale particle absorption and release is only one part of it. There are also experiments involving plant tissue mutation under particle irradiation, and cloning experiments based on a certain genetic sample. Commander, I believe you've seen both types of experiments before, perhaps in some underground laboratory. I recall my past encounter with Diane and the others, and soon I realized that someone of unknown identity once saved my life. Back then, the one who shot down the shell, was that you? Yes, we were also investigating that underground lab at the time, though you hadn't already resolved it by then. Yo! We learned of the location through an internal tip from StateTech. Their agents had tried to investigate, but all previous operations had apparently ended in failure. I should thank you for finishing what they started. Beyond what I mentioned, there is one experiment Paradeus is especially obsessed with. Using immune individuals to trigger the activation of relic-related devices. My guess is that Paradeus wants to use special lifeforms as a medium to make contact with Nirvana. Ah, Nirvana! Helena is that medium. I press a hand to my forehead as a wave of dizziness washes over me. Nirvana. Nirvana, again. Is that even possible? To access Nirvana, it will take both devices and an activation medium that meets extremely strict criteria. Not to mention the immense amount of collapsed particles required. Oh. Commander, you realize it too, haven't you? The Urias group plan includes using cultivated plants to absorb and accumulate collapse particles, while Paradeus has produced a clone immune individuals. O43 is the most recent one. While we haven't received intelligence confirming the possession of relic-related devices, the outlook is hardly optimistic. Within the URNC, those who will want devices of that level, I say you've also come to the same conclusion. The likelihood that they possess such devices is extremely high. These people want to recreate the rift that opened in Frankfurt back then. I can't speak. I simply stare at the projection that Alba is showing me, at the information she stole from Chilovig. The other dolls, having finished her supplying, overhear our discussion and hurry over, eager to learn more. I don't quite understand. How exactly does Paradeus plan on accessing Nirvana? The relic device will serve as the initiator. The consciousness used to connect to Nirvana becomes the key. Massive amounts of collapsed particles act as the fuel to activate the device with that key. Under the influence of radiant energy, HELENA will resonate with the relic device, opening the gate to Nirvana. That's how it works, in simple terms. Then, what happens to HELENA? Do all those collapsed particles get absorbed by her? No. If that were the case, it might actually be less troublesome. Immune individuals are unaffected by collapsed particles. But once the key is activated and the gate opens, those massive amounts of collapsed particles will be dispersed into space to form a rift to Nirvana. Once the plan is initiated, the entirety of Liv will face a catastrophic fallout of collapsed particle radiation. Yippee! God damn it, she's planning to sacrifice an entire city. So the experiment has gone this far, and that young lady still knows nothing? Is she an idiot? Calling her an idiot might not be a fair assessment. Chilovig's reason for exploiting Orphelune's research isn't just to gain Jura's resources and political backing. Most importantly, the core of this research was completed by Orphelune herself. There are rumors that 10 years ago, in Frankfurt, she personally witnessed the opening of Nirvana. That's when she obtained all that knowledge beyond her understanding. The truth. So that's what she meant. But was it true that she claimed to have seen? In a sense, she's very similar to you, Commander. Both of you are so-called blessed ones. You call that a blessing? I'm sorry if that phrasing displeased you. But in Paradeus' database, anyone who glimpses beyond the present world through Nirvana is classified as a blessed one. From what we know, you're not the only one who's had such an experience. Alba manipulates the projection, switching to a city map marked with red dots. Fortunately, we're still in time to stop this. According to these files, aside from the laboratory we just destroyed, Chilovig has another, far more concealed main laboratory in the White Zone. That's the true heartland of Project Eden. Let me see. Alba displays the coordinates and related information. I read through them one by one, already beginning to simulate a plan in my mind. The other dolls crowd around the projection as well, trying to grasp grasped the battle ahead.
一息ついたらすぐにその秘密実験室に
Once we finish our supplying, we'll move immediately toward the main
ヘレナ
laboratory.
はそこに
I believe Elena is there.
楽園計画を阻止して
We must prevent Project Eden from activating and bring Elena back.
手伝ってくれますか
Commander, will you help us?
もちろんよ。でももっと戦力
I will. But this is too big to handle on my own. I'll need to mobilize more forces.
管理局の関係者に全てを教えるのは推奨しません
I don't recommend telling the whole truth to anyone connected to Nonfa, human or doll.
カリーナさんや他の人形に加勢してもらってもいいですが
You can seek help from Miss Kalina or other
知られて
dolls.
しまう可能性も
But that also means our objective could be exposed.
言いたいことわかりますか
Commander, you know what I mean. I fully understand Alva's concerns. On one hand, with my strength alone, the operation will never be foolproof. I must ensure that if I fail, there's still a backup contingency plan to evacuate innocent civilians amid the disaster's fallout. On the other hand, I admit that Nonfa is not entirely trustworthy. But among them, there are some who are absolute exceptions to me. For example, I look at Alva. She looks back at me. I raise my terminal then and there.
カリン、聞こえる？
Oh my god.
Kalin, do you copy?
すぐにジラードグループ本部を封鎖し、全市民を町から避難する。
Find a way to immediately seal off the UR group headquarters and have the PSA evacuate the entire city.
どういうことですか
What happened, Commander?
理由は教えられない。でも多くの
I can't explain the reason, but doing this will save many lives.
わかりました
I understand. I'll figure something out.
ありがとう。クルーガーさんは？
Can you reach Mr. Kruger right now?
会議に来るはずなのですが
Still no.
連絡がつかなくて
We're already past the originally scheduled meeting time.
そう。連絡がついたら教えてほしい。
If you can reach him, I need to speak with him.
はいわかりました
Understood. I'll pass the message along.
頼んだわ。
Great.
全部終わったら。
Let's deal with our most pressing problems first. Then you can let me know which restaurant you choose. Yeah, this is Frankfurt 2.0. I end the call and turn back to Alva.
今こちらの予備戦力は4人よ。そっちは？
I still have a 4-doll squad that can move immediately. Do you have any other support?
後方に特殊装備を要請しました
We've called in a special purpose equipment for emergency contingencies. Other than that, we're on our own.
パラデウスの計画を止めて、
Paradeus's plan must be stopped. We've got to get Elena back.
私の指揮下に入ってくれる？
Are you willing to accept my command? Alva glances back at Mastina, who gives her a firm, affirmative nod.
望むところです
We are. Gladly.
よし。では今から
Good.
あなたたちは
From now on, you're part of Group 1.
グローザ、コルフェン。反撃衝突
Grossa,
と一緒に
call me.
私についてきて。
You'll act together with DeFi under my direct command.
了解
来るかい。ダイエンと合流。
Okay, contact Diane and report on Orphelune surveillance status. Then link up with them to form a fire support unit.
その後は私たちを援護。
Be prepared for direct engagement with the UR group and PSA forces once we enter the building.
はい手配します
Got it. I'll arrange it immediately. I mark out operational routes and requirements on the digital map using a few markers. Then check my watch and synchronize timing with the dolls.
一班は私とビルに突入。パラデウスの実験室が
Group 1 will enter the building with me, prioritizing the stealth infiltration into Paradeus's main laboratory.
30分後に連絡がなかったら、2班は
If there's no contact after 30 minutes,
それからここの
Group 2 will secure the access points here, here, and here.
グローザ、屋上にヘリが飛べるよう
Contact Santa Racy and have the helicopter stand by.
最悪それで脱出
Worst case, we strike by air directly back to the Elmo once we retrieve Elena.
ええ3班に用意させて
I'll notify Group 3 to prepare the routes.
今回はこれまでにない危険な作戦よ
This is a high-risk
無
operation.
事脱出できても
We may end up being held accountable
追及され
or
る可能性
purged
がある
by the URNC.
やめたいなら今
If anyone wants to back out, now is the time. The dolls quietly check their gear or study the routes. No one responds to my final words. I look around at everyone, then nod.
行くわよ。
Ah! Ah! Peek. It's peak, I fear! Diagnosis peak. Thank you for the hydrate. Which, okay, the blossoming flower is the most important ingredient in the broth. What? Taskfly, thank you for the membership. Or was that a message? Thank you, thank you. Let's go, let's go. It's at the UR Group headquarters. Marionette dolls stand in formation outside the control center. Now dressed in a brand new suit, Igla sits before the console, her long fingers lightly tapping the screen. On the surveillance feed, Kruger and Oleg are clearly visible, detained inside a conference room.
どうぞ。
Come in. The lead marionette doll steps into the control center and snaps to attention with mechanical precision.
報告します。
Ma'am,
オレク・ジラード並びに非軍事勢力管理局職員を
target individual Oleg Girard and officials from the non-military force administration have all been confined to the conference room.
通信妨害もかけてあります。
All communication devices have been jammed, and all emergency exits are sealed.
緊急時の対策は
Report on the contingency measures.
4通り立案しております。
4 emergency response plans have been prepared.
必要に応じて武力制圧
Authorization has been granted for force suppression if necessary.
クルーガー局長への攻撃は極
Do your
力避け
utmost to avoid causing direct harm to Director Kruger.
オレク様に至っては
As for Mr. Oleg Girard,
生死は不問です。
his safety is no longer our top priority. Oh. RIP.
監視を続けてください。
Keep monitoring the conference room.
報告を
Report any abnormal situation to me immediately. Igla walks down the corridor and stops before a heavy metal door marked Experimental Zone, authorized personnel only. Inside the laboratory, Ludovic is dancing about in front of a massive transparent containment chamber. HELENA, who is floating within it, has returned to a sealed state. Dressed in rampant and tattered lab coat, Ludovic hums an off-key tune while hammering away at the keyboard.
反逆の追跡を打ち切らせ勝利をみすみす手放して
Is it peak if it continues
教え
upwards?
ていただけますか
Wait, you're right. Your top one is friend to streamer, also the only one? I don't think I'm the only one, am I? I can't be the only one. There's no way. You had better give me a reason for abandoning the pursuit of Task Force Tiffy. You had them completely surrounded, yet you told me to give up a victory within easy reach.
勝利
A victory within easy reach?
やられてたくせに
Didn't they quite literally leave you? Didn't they quite literally leave you in the dust?
今なんと
Will you care to repeat that?
冗談だってば
What I meant is,
あのバカたち
those two idiots just left O43 lying there.
一度は騙されたけど
Sure, they barely managed to bamboozle me once, but
涙
huh,
なんて困る
what could possibly be more important than reclaiming O43?
回収できたのです
You recovered O43?
連中を
Yes, indeed.
感謝感謝
Thank you for keeping Dumb and Dumber busy.
最後に勝つのは私なんだよ
In the end, I'm still the smartest one.
あの子がいれば楽園計画
Now that we have the little cutie,
反逆
who even cares about Task Force Tiffy anymore? Now, Project Eden can proceed flawlessly.
喜びなよお嬢様に
Rejoice, Igla. Your young mistress is going to adore you.
以前疑念が
Even so, I cannot help but harbor some doubts.
あなたにそそのかされて忠義
At your urging, I have committed such a grave transgression. Is there truly any chance I might still obtain the young mistress' forgiveness? Chilovik spins around abruptly, an exaggerated smile blooming across her face. She performs a pirouette and skips over toward Igla.
大丈夫だって。
Don't worry, Miss Perfect Butler.
あんたも見たでしょ
You saw it yourself, didn't you?
私たちは愚か
That old man sold us out,
たんだよ。
along with his own daughter.
放置してたら何もかも大
If you hadn't apprehended him, all of our efforts would have gone straight down the drain.
オルフェルーネも分かってくれるって
Orphelune will understand. Will she?
それでも非軍事勢力管理
Regrettably, I have no choice but to restrict the personal freedom of the director of the non-military forces administration.
ロレン当局に喧嘩を打ったも同然
This is tantamount to a direct confrontation with the URNC government.
あなたの残された時間はわずかです
I fear you're left with very limited time.
大丈夫大丈夫もう
Relax, relax. Now that the dear child has finally returned,
もう私は
I can
誰にも止められない
complete the plan at any time. Why so many stars for you there? Suri, thank you for the subscription. The continued subscription. Thank you.
では計画を進めてください
Then I ask that you proceed immediately.
各所は反応を起こす
Before the other parties can
う
react,
まく立ち回
we must produce a bargaining chip compelling enough for them to overlook the conflict and accept Gerard's terms. Chilovik lets out an exaggerated sigh and spreads her hands wide.
相変わらずクソ真面目なんだ
You're always so serious. Lighten up, Miss Igla.
これから歴史を
We're about to make history. I don't like how that sounds.
王43の状態を教えていた
May I inquire about O43's current condition? Chilovik strides over to the chamber, presses her face against the transparent wall, and makes a silly face.
ぐっすり眠ってるよ
Our little flowers is sleeping so soundly. As for her condition, simply perfect.
あんたたちが暴れたせいで
It's a shame you destroyed my laboratory in the satellite city, but that's fine.
用済みだから
I won't be needing it anymore anyway.
リストに書いてあるものホワイトエリア
Remember to send everything I put on the list to my lab in the White Zone. It can finally come in handy.
使う時が来たんだ
Igla straightens up, her posture as immaculate and forbidding as ever.
お言葉ですがどちらの実験室
At the risk of sounding
あなた
crude,
ではなく
I must still point out the fact that both premises are property of the UR Group. Chilovik grins widely, revealing her pointed little canines.
もちろんもちろん
Of course, of course.
私はただの雇われ科学者だもんね
So sorry to trouble the young mistress's loyal butler to constantly remind me that I'm merely a hired hand.
でも有効活用していたのはどっちかな
But you see, owning something and truly controlling it are two very different matters. She presses several buttons. The chamber begins to descend slowly, moving down a transparent conduit into the depths below.
これでようやくオルフェルーネも一息つける
With this perfect little medium, Miss Orphelune can finally take pride in her own work.
長い間楽園計画のために心血注いできたもんね
After all, Project Eden is also the precious fruit of her parents' painstaking labor.
お嬢様の挙げた成果は賞賛に値しま
Young Mistress's research achievements are indeed admirable.
すだからこそ
Precisely for that reason,
お嬢様
I believe she should personally carry out the activation ceremony.
それが払う
She deserves that much for her many years of dedication. Chilovik goofos, her belting laughter echoing through the laboratory. She circles Igla once, her steps as light as a dance.
大丈夫だって全部予定通り
Of course! Everything will proceed according to plan.
種も土壌も
Whose plan, though?
The seeds are in place. The soil is ready.
あとはお嬢様があの赤いボタンをポチ
Now
ッ
all that's left is for dear little scientist to press that lovely red button and let the flowers bloom. Her voice suddenly drops as she leans close to Igla's ear.
もしもの話だけど、あの子に
However, Miss Igla,
私が可愛い
do remember,
いいんだよ。
if anything unexpected happens, I can always step in and help her out.
Igla steps sideways, putting distance between herself and Tilobig, her gaze sharp as a blade.
何度も強調したはずですが、計画に
I must reiterate that the final authority to activate Project Eden rests with Young Mistress.
お嬢様の許可を得ていない行為
Any unauthorized action will be regarded as a breach of contract. Igla's voice is not loud, yet it carries an unmistakable authority, filling the very air in the laboratory. Tilobig shivers theatrically, then immediately breaks into laughter again.
怖い怖い。
How scary! Miss Igla turned into the big bad wolf.
嘘だって。本気にしない。
Don't worry, I was only joking.
オルフェルーネを待つに決まってるじゃん。
Of course we'll wait for Orphelune to start it herself.
あの子のことめっちゃくちゃ
I have great respect for a little genius scientist after all.
Uh-huh. Tilobig prances over to the large display, her fingers flying across the control panel.
でもさ、あの子は自分
Still, Miss Igla,
分かってるの？
do you really think Orphelune understands what she's doing?
あの子は再生可能エネルギーしか見えて
She only sees the beauty of the flowers,
なんじゃもったいない。
but not how far their roots can spread.
私が興味あるのはその先に
What she wants is new energy,
可能性なんだよね。
but what I see is infinite possibility.
Igla smooths the sleeve of her suit and speaks calmly.
何はともあれ私の役
In
目は
any
お嬢
case,
様を守り
my duty is to protect Young Mistress and her wishes.
それらは他の全てより優
All
先
other objectives come second. Tilobig turns around and makes an exaggerated bow with her right hand pressed to her chest.
あんたは間違いなく私が見てきた人
My respect to you, Miss
一番
Igla.
忠誠心があるよ。
You are, without a doubt, the most loyal person I have ever met.
Igla inclines her head slightly and turns toward the door.
お嬢様の元へ向かいます
I am going to the summit venue to attend to the Young Mistress.
あなたは最後の準備にだけ
I trust you will focus on the final preparations.
じゃあね。
Farewell, the ever loyal Miss Butler.
心配しなくてもちゃんと
Don't worry, I'll make this flower bloom more brilliantly than ever before.
After Igla leaves, the laboratory doors slowly close. Tilobig's smile vanishes in an instant. Her eyes turn cold and razor sharp. She hops slightly back to the console, fingers tapping wildly at the keyboard.
いやー揃いも揃って頭の中がお花畑だこと。
A loyal little butler only ever sees what she wants to see.
王43が花を咲かせる
O43 is such a perfect specimen. And she still believes this is nothing more than cultivating a flower.
最初に咲く場所を知ったらびっくりするだろうね。
If only you knew where this flower is going to bloom first.
あーもう待ちきれない。
I can't wait. I can hardly wait.
その時のあんたたちの顔を
I'm dying to see
見たいな。
the looks on all your adorable little faces when the time comes.
Okay. Okay. Happy to see that Tilly has an established following. I mean, she's fun. Profit. Okay. When both your eyes are covered, you lose sight of the future. I don't know if I'll get to read these two, but we can read this one at the very least. Depending on how long it is, we'll read the other one. Inside the penthouse suite where Orphelune is currently staying, gilded decorations glitter beneath the crystal chandelier. The desk is piled high with repeatedly revised speech drafts, every page covering handwritten notes and corrections. Orphelune Girard stands before a mirror,
constantly adjusting her already flawless evening gown and carefully styled golden curls. She smooths non-existent wrinkles from her dress and tucks a strand of already secure hair back behind her ear.
ああもう髪が決まらない。
My hair. Damn this hair.
どうしてこんなにうまくいかないの？
Why won't it just behave?
Orphelune appears far more irritable and restless than usual. She stares at her reflection, anxiety flickering in her eyes. Then she turns and walks to the desk, picking up the latest edited speech draft.
楽園計画はエネルギー分野に新たな
Project Eden represents a new chapter in the energy revolution.
She suddenly flings the manuscript onto the desk.
こんな俗物めいた表現ではジラードや私の名に傷
Such crude phrasing is practically an insult to the reputation of the UR family and to myself.
三流企業でもこんな前置き使わない。
Even spokespeople from third-rate tech firms wouldn't use such an opening.
Orphelune paces to the window, her high heels tapping crisply against the floor. She looks down at the brightly illuminated city of Lead below, her hands clenched into fists.
もうわかんない。
What a pain! Why am I so restless?
発表なんか何度もやってきたのに。
It's not like this is my first speech.
てるの？
What exactly am I nervous about?
She knows perfectly well what the source of her distress is. Orphelune tightens her grip on her braid. The words of that impostor journalist continue to echo in her mind. It is utterly ridiculous. The more she thinks about it, the angrier she becomes. She even thought she was a kind soul who understood her.
私の研究が邪教に利用されてる。
Claiming that my project Eden is connected to that Paradeus cult.
シルロビグはその一員。
And even accusing Chilovig of being a cult member. How absolutely absurd.
Oh no, she's blind.
Her gaze shifts toward the tablet on the desk. It's a screen filled with complex charts and equations. Orphelune walks over, swiping the screen and scrolling through layers of data after browsing slowly in it together.
もし本当に
These collapsed particle collection equations.
生き袋やブージャムを作るために
If they were really used to create elites and bujums.
Her fingertip hovers over the screen. Though these are all materials she has reviewed countless times, none of it is registering in her head now. Gradually, her attention drifts elsewhere, and her expression grows distant.
私の研究なのにもう私だけ
Am
じゃ
I
どう
truly unable to control where this research will lead?
科学がどういう結果をもたらすかは
Science may have no
それを
stance,
使う人間次第
but those who wield it do.
フランクフルトの時の私は
That
ただ見
day
ているだけの被害者
in
だ
Frankfurt, I was only a victim.
今は
Her thoughts are interrupted by the soft knock at the door.
お嬢様入ってよろしいですか？
Young mistress, may I come in?
Orphelune immediately straightens her back, regaining her composure and assuming the posture of a proud scientist.
発表原稿が見るに耐えないから
Come in.
やってたとこよ。
This speech trap is utterly dreadful. I need someone to take responsibility for such substandard work.
Igla enters, carrying a cup of tea. Her suit is perfectly pressed, without a single crease.
お茶を用意しました。
Your evening tea is prepared, young mistress.
お嬢様が大好きな
It is your favorite Earl Grey, with 3 drops of lemon juice and a touch of mint, just as you prefer.
少々入れてあります。
Orphelune accepts the cup with deliberate poise and takes a small sip. Her eyebrows lift slightly.
まあまあね。
The flavor is passable.
でもミントはもっと少ない方がいいわ。
However, there should be slightly less mint.
Igla bows slightly.
以後気をつけます。
I will take note next time, young mistress.
Orphelune walks back toward the window, turning her back to Igla. Her voice softens a little.
イグラ、衛星都市の違法実験室のこと
調べたんでしょ？
Were you investigating that illegal laboratory in the satellite city? Did you find anything? Igla raises her head slightly, a trace of weariness flashing through her eyes.
はい初歩的にですが
I have conducted a preliminary investigation, young mistress.
非軍事勢力管理局に
However, the non-military forces administration has still of information regarding the matter quite thoroughly.
現時点ではあれらの実験
At present, no conclusive evidence links those experiments directly to Miss Tilovig or the organization known as Pradeus. Orphelune turns around, biting her lower lip.
あの記者いや
I keep thinking about what that imposter journalist said.
私の研究が邪教に利用されて
She said my research might be manipulated.
その一員
She said Tilovig belongs to a cult.
粒子収集技術も生きむく
She also said my collapsed particle harvesting technology could be used to create elites and podiums. She grips the teacup tightly, her voice trembling slightly.
誤った方法で正しい結果は導き出せ
She said that a path built on a wrong foundation can never lead to a right destination.
この言葉が忘れられない
That keeps bothering me.
もしチルドビグが本当に
If Miss Tilovig is truly exploiting me and my research. Igla sits down the tray and steps beside Orphelune, her gaze gentle yet resolute.
お言葉ですがあの道家
Igla's investigation found nothing of note. Yeah, why would it? There's nothing hiding, nothing suspicious.
Young mistress, forgive my frankness, but that journalist, the impostor, clearly spoke with ulterior motives.
お嬢様の才能と努力は
Your talent is beyond dispute,
有数の科学者たちに認められた
and your research and achievements have already earned recognition from the world's foremost scientists. Orphelune places the teacup down heavily on the desk, spilling some of the tea.
でももし私の研究が
But Igla,
手に負えないとしたら
what if I truly cannot control how this technology is ultimately used?
本当に誰かが私の研究を
What if someone really uses my research to conduct those horrific human experiments?
あの偽記者は正しかったってことじゃない
Will that not prove that she was right? That science stance is determined by its user. Orphelune's gaze shifts toward the computer screen, her voice growing lower.
フランクフルトを生き延びてからずっと証明して
Ever since what happened in Frankfurt, I have wanted to prove myself,
自分の力を
to prove that the Girard family can bring genuine change to the world.
変えられることをでも楽園
But
計
if
画が
Project
本当
Eden
に
is
そういう
truly
ことなら
abused,
私って
will that not make me a villain?
お嬢様
Igla interrupts Orphelune's self-reproach. She raises her hand, hesitates briefly, then gently rests it on Orphelune's shoulder.
100歩譲ってそのようなリスクがあるとしましょ
Let us take a step back. Even if this experiment may indeed carry risks,
うあなたはあの記者にこうおっしゃいました
do you remember what you told that journalist before?
科学がどういう結果をもたらすか
Science itself has no
そ
stance.
れを扱う人間
Whether our result is good or bad depends solely on how people use it.
計画の善悪を決めるのはあなたな
And you are precisely the one who can ensure this research is used for the right purpose. Igla's voice is warm and steady, like a soothing current calming Orphelune's uneasy heart.
チルロビグ様の正体がどうであれ
Regardless of whether Miss Tilovig has another identity, the knowledge she has provided is now a tool in your hands.
それをどう使うのかもあなた
As you yourselves have said, you believe you have the ability to ensure this technology is used correctly.
そんな言いがかりで長年の夢を
Will you truly abandon years of dedication and your dreams because of unverified accusations? Hesitation flickers in Orphelune's eyes.
でもそれを否定できる根拠もないでしょ
But I ordered you to investigate. What about the results? If someone truly is using the biotechnology for such things,
調査は続行します
Young mistress, we can continue the investigation while also strengthening our control over Project Eden.
確証が得られるまで
But before the truth is confirmed,
変えるチャンスを逃す
we have no reason to abandon an opportunity that could change the world.
あの道
Even if the impostor's concerns hold some merit, you still possess the ability to correct the course and prevent misuse. Orphelune slowly straightens her posture. The unease in her eyes gradually gives way to determination.
You are right. I am Orphelune Girard. How could I possibly be controlled? How could I stand by and watch my research be abused?
She pats her own cheeks to psych herself up.
At the summit, I will show everyone the grand vision of Project Eden. As for the potential risks, I will personally ensure they never come to pass. How could that imposter journalist possibly understand the responsibility of a true scientist?
A wise decision, young mistress. You will prove to the world that the value of Project Eden far surpasses anyone's imagination.
Of course. Tonight, I will let everyone witness a genuine scientific miracle.
Genuine scientific miracle.
I will leave those who doubt me utterly speechless.
Just as Orphelune regains her confidence, Igla's communication suddenly rings. Igla glances at it with mild surprise, then answers. Go ahead. A horrid voice comes through the communicator. Igla's expression gradually turns grave. Her eyes flash with a trace of alarm. Continue monitoring. Do not act rashly. I will be there immediately. She ends the call and turns toward Orphelune. Her expression remains composed, though the vigilance in her eyes lingers.
What happened?
Igla smiles calmly, her tone is steady as usual. Just some minor security details that require confirmation. There is no need for you to worry. Please allow me to excuse myself briefly and ensure these trivial matters do not affect your speech. Orphelune lifts her chin, her golden curls swaying lightly with emotion.
Go on then. Make sure tonight's summit is flawless. Even the smallest imperfection will damage your family's reputation.
Igla bows slightly. Everything will proceed according to your expectations, young mistress. I will return shortly. Igla respectfully exits the suite, gently closing the door behind her. Orphelune walks back toward the window and gazes down at the blistering city of Liv once more. Her expression is resolute and confident, yet deep in her eyes, that faint, knowing doubt still lingers.
Science may have no stance, but those who will it do. I will create history. I will control the fate of this technology. I'll make sure of it.
Her whisper is nearly inaudible as it fades into the empty suite, with only the city lights outside silently bearing witness to her solitude.
Damn! This one is rather long. Might need to just play it safe and leave it for tomorrow then. We still have some time to yap. She seems to be aware about what might be going on behind her back, but she feels so powerless to stop it considering she's just a Jura Group's poster girl. Yeah. Orphelune is a good girl. She is. But yeah, because Orphelune, yeah. Let me see though. Yeah, someone said that this was rather long, and I have like 20 minutes. And if it's longer than the others, that will not be enough. But again, some progress, some progress. We're at 3 story nodes. Not bad. At least 30-45 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be cutting it too short. But yeah, I feel like we can get it done this weekend. I probably still have to rush B, so there will be no yapping. But it can be done. It can be done, I believe. And if not, I'll have to just put something else, some extra stream at some point. Before April 1st. But first, let's get back here. It's a good stopping point for now. Yeah. We should. We will be further in if my computer had worked on Wednesday, but alas. Yeah, the side notes I also want to do. Except for doing it all. Me too. That's coming next week also, like, sheesh. Yeah, the story notes in 2.0 are rather long. Which is good, you know, as you said, I ran out of time. But we can do it. We can push through. I believe. We've done it before and we'll do it again. Yeah, my computer was not being cooperative yesterday on Wednesday. I still need to finish Virtual Pair. Finish it! And that was great. But yeah, I feel like we're managing to get most of the build-up out of the way. I feel like soon we should start getting more into the action. We're getting there, I feel it in my bones. Prepare for absolute cinema. I'm gonna be so ready. So ready. That said, I'm actually kind of sleepy. You probably noticed by how much I was yawning. I don't know why. Maybe because it's Friday and work has been, there's been a lot of work this week. So I know I said we could jab, but I'm like, my brain is fried. But yeah, very interesting so far. I'm really curious what will happen with Orphelune and Igla. Like, I'm still so curious about that. Because Igla, like, I feel like Igla generally cares about her. And Orphelune is actually just a good girl, just being used by Pradeus, as they always do. And I'm like, damn, what's gonna happen there? I am so scared. I am so afraid. But we shall see tomorrow, probably. Igla's just not smart at certain things. Yeah, I'm like, come on, Igla, come on. Come on, Igla. But yeah, tomorrow we'll also rush. So we'll start stream, just like say hi to everyone and then jump into the game straight away. She got an ego problem. Yeah, all the third gen dolls have a big ego problem. She loving the most trustworthy person ever, real. But yeah, I'm really curious. Man, I'm so excited. So excited for Corposant. But yeah, we are gonna call it a day. Oh, actually, first. No, it's not working. Why? Fine, be that way. I wanted to show Cat, but I guess I didn't set up the camera properly. Apologies. Chilabig is friend-shaped? I'm not so sure about that. But sure. Chilabig is target-shaped? Yes, that is true. That is more true. But yeah. This weekend, we rush B. We speedrun reading. Speed reading. Speed reading the event. Now, I'm gonna go lie down a bit before I need to go get my sister. So, thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the little progress we did. Remember to stay safe, stay hydrated, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys next time, which should be tomorrow. So,